That's frustrating. There's no explanation for it at all.
Kurt Bresham discovered last year he was being overcharged by an obscene amount for a life-saving kidney drug. The biggest surprise here is that Kurt's own insurance plan was doing the overcharging. His insurance copay was almost twice as expensive as just paying cash. And tonight, a pharmacist is talking about those sky-high prices. How could that be when insurance is supposed to save you money, you think? Jay Olstead with our sister station in Minneapolis explains.
Remember Kurt Bersham?
Yeah, it's frustrating.
He's the guy who discovered last year he was being overcharged by an obscene amount for a life-saving kidney drug.
There's no explanation for it at all.
The biggest surprise? Kurt's own insurance plan was doing the overcharging. His insurance copay was almost twice as expensive as just paying cash.
Makes me insane.
How could that be? For nearly a year, we've been investigating, and we've discovered Kurt's story could be your story. And it's happening more often than you think.
In my opinion, it needs to stop.
This pharmacist is too afraid to let his face be shown for fear of retaliation by insurance plans that he says are overcharging you.
Consumers are paying more because they have insurance in some cases.
It's probably 20-25% of the claims.
A lot.
A lot.
If people really knew what was going on, there'd be an uproar.
Tim Gallagher saw the insurance overcharges firsthand when he worked as a pharmacist. Now, he's with a company that advocates for independent pharmacies.
Patients were actually paying more than they could otherwise have paid if they were paying cash.
And there's evidence it's happening all across the country.
These type of shell games go on all the time.
Doug Hoy is the CEO for the National Community Pharmacists Association. He blames pharmacy benefit managers, or PBMs, for price gouging. They serve as the middleman between insurance providers and pharmacies, and often they set the price you pay.
They dictate that price.
Here's how it works. When you use an insurance card, the pharmacist punches the information into the computer, and the PBM spits out the amount you owe, the insurance copay.
They dictate what the pharmacy can sell it for.
Carol Levin obtained rarely seen internal records from pharmacists with private patient information blocked out, but you can still see how the insurance copay set by the PBMs was much higher than the cash price. Example, the antidepressant venlafaxine, $67 with insurance, only $25 cash. Example, allopurinol for kidney stones, nearly $59 for the insurance copay, but just over $40 paying cash, $18 cheaper.
Here's another example.
We showed what we found to Doug Hoy.
And then another example.
Including one for the common antibiotic doxycycline. The copay, $46. The cash price, $27.
My son needed the exact same drug, and the exact same thing happened. Fortunately, I knew to ask, and so I got the much less expensive price.
But too often, customers don't know to ask. And believe it or not, pharmacists aren't supposed to tell them.
Why can't pharmacists just tell their customers, hey, this is going to be cheaper if you pay cash?
They have these gag clauses that forbid them from talking to consumers.
Gag clauses, like the one in this contract, obtained by Carol Levin, saying pharmacists can get kicked out of an insurance network if they talk to the media or sponsors members, which means customers, without prior consent.
By me giving this information out, I'm risking losing my contracts.
Which explains why pharmacists are frightened to speak out about insurance overcharges.
What would happen if you were kicked out of the network?
I mean, that literally would shut the doors.
Destroying his business.
It'd be over.
If you make too much noise about this,
threats of retaliation that even have Congress asking questions.
Your contract could be in jeopardy. That is not right.
So if consumers are paying more for prescriptions, who's getting the extra money?
Does it go to the local pharmacies?
It certainly does not go to the local pharmacies.
In fact, Hoy says PBMs and insurance companies are pocketing the extra money.